Hey Damien, I consider you a music expert of your generation. Like you really know about the music industry, the current trends, everything that's happening right now. And me, being that I'm from a different generation, I'm genuinely confused about many things. So, well,
Yeah.
so tell me, please, what's going on with music? It's like people, you know what I'm feeling is that when people try to be innovative, they end up sounding like music from the 80s.
Oh yeah, I can't stand it. Everyone just makes the same shit.
Or music from the 70s, like that. You hear like what I like to call neo disco. Is there a thing, neo disco?
I would say so, but I think it's like kind of insulting because it's like, why can't you just like make something that sounds like, like it's progressing? Like why do you have to make something sound like old in order to get clicks? And then at the same time, oh my god, I haven't shaved. Oh my god. And then also, like, how do I say this? It just feels like they're saying like, oh, the old times were great and better, and let's try and make those times great. It's just like stupid. It doesn't.
Yeah, but my question to you is, how innovative could you be while still being commercially viable? Like, I mean, the age of experimentation. For example, I know you don't like the Beatles, okay? But for example, the Beatles did a lot of experimentation. For example, they were among the first people to use animal sounds in recordings. They were among the first people to use Indian instruments from India in recordings, or classical instruments.
Yeah, I mean, to that extent, you could say that. Hold this.
No, you do the camera.
You could say no one's gonna watch this, Dad.
I don't care.
You could say that for the first time ever, that Nigerian music and Hispanic music is in the top 10. I mean, everything. I feel like everything that every new song is just taking stuff that already existed and remixing it in some kind of way. Like, but what the Beatles did was never before really done, except it was technologically possible.
I mean, here's the thing, and I don't know. Have you seen that video of Frank Zappa talking about the A&R people and record labels? Because I think he's very spot on. Like he said that back in the day, record labels were willing to take chances on new things, and now
you have to have a TikTok following in order to.
Yeah. So here's the thing that I find really ironic. Okay. Nowadays, a record label will not sign an artist unless the artist has proved themselves that they can be successful without a record label. So that kind of begs the question: if they're already successful doing their own social media, why would they even need a record label to begin with? You don't even need a record label anymore because there's no records. I mean, you can just get an account on a streaming platform, and then you can be your own record label. So that's another question I have for you. What do you think is the future of record labels, or are record labels even still necessary, do you think?
I feel like labels should be a lot kinder to us because they need us more than we need them, I think. I mean, like, you could do your own, virtual realty? You could do your own promotion and whatever, but like you said, labels, they don't put music on records anymore. So...
Is there a point to having record labels anymore?
I don't think so. You know what I notice about emerging artists versus like Taylor Swift and everything is that they're a lot. The latter, they're a lot more showy and a lot more. The optics, everything is so picture perfect and.
Well, I gotta tell you. I mean, I went probably within the last 6 months or so. We went to see Katy Perry. I mean, she's not a quote-unquote new artist by any standards. I mean, she's been around for a long time, but I noticed like her show was really over the top. Like they would lift her up with cables. At some point she was in the middle, up in the air, in the middle of the stadium, flying on a freaking
Pink did that, right?
Yeah, a giant butterfly. Yeah, Pink does that too, like a giant butterfly, and they have dancers and lasers and holograms and all this shit. Is like, so now you can't just go there and stand in the middle of a stage and sing. Well, yeah, you can, because the stark contrast was when we went to see Eric Clapton. Of course, Eric Clapton is from the old guard. He's like 80 something now, right?
Yeah.
or whatever.
So I guess because he can't do all that stuff, he's not talented.
Well, no, I don't think Eric Clapton would be able to fly all over suspended in cables. I think he would have a heart attack. But Eric Clapton could very well, and he did. He just grabbed a chair, he sat down with his acoustic guitar, playing in the middle of the stage, just playing with, and people were perfectly quiet and listening. It's like, I don't see any young people, nobody could do that. Like, the last person I can think that could sit down in the middle of a stage with just an acoustic guitar and command that kind of power would be Kurt Cobain. Because when he did the MTV Unplugged, that was epic. That was one for the ages.
Okay, Grandpa.
But I cannot imagine, for example, what's his face? Ed Sheeran. You think Ed Sheeran could just sit in the middle of a stage and...
He probably does.
Yeah, but not. It's not the same.
Well, that's because young people, they have very short attention spans.
It's not the same. I mean, I'm sorry. I love Ed Sheeran, actually. I know this is surprising to you. I think he's very talented.
Yeah, of course.
But he's not going to command the same energy that...
Well, you know why it is, right? It's not because he's not talented. It's because young people have very short attention spans.
Well, did I tell you about my theory? About what's going to be...
songs are going to be 30 seconds short? I don't think so.
They will.
No, I don't think that's accurate.
Well, I'm going to make an album where the songs are like 10 seconds each, and then I can have 100 songs per album,
Oh, yeah?
and then I get a lot of money for streaming. How about that?
How are you going to make something that people actually like? It has to be trendy. It has to be... And by the way, a lot of it actually is... The best songs right now involve a lot of people in the production of it, because hit songs, they have a lot of, or at least today's hit songs, and I think it was always somewhat like this, but more than ever these days, is they have so much layering and so much production on, like, this instrument on top of that one, and it sounds... What's really important is how it sounds when you listen to it.
Well, that's another thing. Like, you know, they used to have a phrase saying that a picture can say more than 1,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
Then with Photoshop it turned into a picture can lie more than 1,000 words. And now that has extended into music. Like what you hear on a recording is what are you actually hearing when you over process a voice. Like, you don't even need to be able to sing anymore. You could process something to death, especially with AI nowadays. And
I think people think that AI is going to, like, take over everything, and we're realizing more than ever that there's not enough of a demand for it.
Dude, AI is already taking...
That's what it seems like.
No.
That's what it seems like, because the reality is that this demand for AI is artificial.
Well, I want to tell you something, okay? The other day I heard Christina introduce me to a quote-unquote virtual Spanish singer. It's an AI female singer with a very bluesy, very earthy voice. And she's got amazing songs, and they're all AI generated. And when you hear it, it's like you think, oh my God, it sounds so real, so emotional, so like, and it freaked me out.
Were the lyrics written by a human?
I don't know. She's becoming viral, and she's a virtual. And there's actually even videos where they mesh it with videos of other people, but it's like a...
Yeah, but that's like a fad. I don't think that's really...
Well, I don't know, but...
Like, here's the thing, right? When the typewriter was invented, no one said, oh, to hell with writing books. When the plastic surgeries were invented, oh, to hell with natural beauty. When the phonograph was invented, they didn't say, oh, screw live performances. So I think it's going to be like a genre or a style of, you know, like, there's going to be some sort of market for it, just like there's some market for, you know, different alternative things. But I think we're always going to value, you know, real human music, and I don't think that anyone talented could produce that quite as fast with just using AI.
Well, I don't know, because this was the first time that I heard something that was 100% AI generated, and I actually thought it was amazing.
Well, that's because it steals from real people.
No, but I thought it was quality music. I was like, oh my God.
Well, that's because you're getting old and you can't tell the difference between what a real human sounds like and what an AI sounds like.
Oh, you really think so?
Yeah. I've heard what's her name? Zania, the AI gospel artist. I mean, yeah, it sounds a little bit human, but you have to be able to tell. You have to be able to tell like the little oddities that make it not human. I mean, there's a human element in human music that is not something that AI can replicate.
Well, I'm just really sad because you know what? I studied music. Of course, I studied music 22 years ago, right? No, 32 years ago.
Oh my God, this guy's going to see now.
Yeah, I'm going to see now, totally. And I had a dream. I had a dream.
I have a dream.
I have a dream. Well, but like at first I thought I was going to be a studio cat, like in recording studios. That would have been my dream, but of course there's no studio scene anymore. Or touring. Who does touring anymore? I mean,
everyone. Taylor, Beyonce, Katy Perry, Pink.
Only the big ones, but like indie artists, there's really no. It's pretty much dying. It's a dying art.
Listen, I think it's really easy to say like everything is dying in music and art and blah blah blah, but there are so many more young people who are emerging into life and into this industry, and I'm willing to bet that when all these rock stars came out, that people who were alive for Frank Sinatra and for what's his name, Al Jolson, and all those people, Louis Armstrong, that they were saying the same thing. They were saying, this new music. I mean, there was a war against rock and roll. So I think every single generation thinks that their generation's music is better. And you want to know why? It's not necessarily because it's always true. It's because they were young for that moment, and they don't actually miss the era. They miss being young, and they miss the music that they had, because science says that when you're a teenager, the music that you listen to is what bakes into your identity.
But there are two.
And that's not that doesn't necessarily mean that old music from whatever decade wasn't great, but I hate this idea of doomerism and everything is getting worse and there's no hope for the future. Like, I think there's so much that can still be done with music. I mean, even if technologically we're declining a little bit, you never know what can happen. Like, there are so many songs. Like, if you asked me 3 years ago if I were happy if there were never another song produced again and I could only listen to what was released before like 2023, I probably would have said yes. And then there were songs that came out in the past couple of years that I really enjoyed. So, and it's shocking that people can still create songs that stick in this age, and not everyone sees that because people love to be critical of it and say, oh, this sounds like something else. But I think it's a better idea to give people a chance.
Okay.
I mean, just because the right people just so happen to be alive, during the time of musical innovation, I think people are just trying to figure out where to go from here. And if you look back at the late 80s, they had a similar problem because there was a big boom in the early 80s with all that fantastic music and MTV and all the synthesizers. The late 80s, they had no idea where to go because there was such an over abuse of the synthesizers and the loud banging, I don't know what you call that, the echoey drums.
Gated drums. Yeah.
Gated drums.
Gated with a G.
Gated. Yeah, so I think what they ended up doing was leaving it to, the independents to figuring that out. Because what happens in pop music is that once a sound gets big enough, it really gets big and it gets pushed out, and with a complete disregard for stuff that's emerging. And that's happening more so now than ever before because labels, they only really care about which artists are already making money. And the emerging artists are seldom ever actually taken into account, and it's rare that they actually come up with a sound that gets promo that people resonate with, and labels are not very they're kind of, I don't know, like they're, at the end of the day, they're not the ones that are producing the art, they're the ones that are selling it. So it's, they're going to be very closed minded. Like you said, the Beatles got rejected, right?
Yes, many times. I don't know. I'm just intrigued by what the future holds, and it's a very confusing, at least for me, it's a very confusing time to be a musician. But
he misses being young.
Having said that, I have something in the oven cooking, baking, and it's gonna be pretty epic and it's gonna defy all expectations and everything.
He's gonna be the new Justin Bieber, or the new Peso Pluma.
No. We're gonna do something that cannot be done with AI. Stay tuned.
This guy. I look nice on camera, except I don't because I have this, and I didn't shave.